Hunter Biden has entered the chat, and I'm loving every minute of it because for years, all the conspiracy theories about Hunter Biden and this alleged all of these crimes that he was colluding with Ukraine and all of this crazy stuff. While at the same time, he's this master criminal. They also say he had a crack cocaine problem and was incompetent. And actually, the latter is true. And I say that with affection to any drug addict, because when they're at the height of their addiction, they're not capable of running some grand international conspiracy. But he's entered the chat, and I'm glad that Hunter is sober. And he has repeated some claims about Melania Trump. And of course, the Trumps are so litigious. Of course, they never played the tape through. Like, oh, we want to be in the White House. And they never thought, oh, that means we get a lot of criticism. So when they get criticism, what do? Whine, titty babies. You know, Melania is the person that whined about having to do the Christmas decorations because who gives a fuck about the Christmas, which I mean was a massive. And the war on Christmas, to me, that was a big strike on Christmas. But I mean, I digress. Now Melania wants to sue Hunter Biden. Put this up. Fox News exclusive. First Lady Melania Trump is putting Hunter Biden on $1 billion notice over what she claims are false, defamatory, disparaging, and inflammatory statements made about her, demanding he immediately remove and retract the content and issue an apology or face legal action. She has had it, and he is on $1 billion notice. What does that mean, Pumps, legally?
Okay, fucking nothing. But let me tell you this. Here's the thing about lawsuits. And this is why Donald Trump, as litigious as he is, loses lawsuits. Because if she sues him for defamation, what comes into question is how she met Donald Trump. And through the discovery phase, there will be witnesses, there will be testimony, there will be documents, there will be evidence on how she met Donald Trump. And I believe the allegation at the center of this is that Epstein met, or that Melania met Trump through Epstein.
Let's take a gander at that. So put up this tweet, Kylie. Okay. Breaking. Melania Trump is now threatening to sue Hunter for $1 billion and making a true statement about Melania and Epstein seen in the video below. It is a fact that biographer Michael Wolff asserted in a podcast that Epstein had introduced Trump and Melania via a modeling agent linked to both of them, and that Epstein, quote, knew her well. There is no reason for Hunter Biden to apologize or take back his statement. He was clear in what he said, and his statement was 100% true. I will say it as a fact as well. This is from Brian Krasenstein on Twitter. And so he says, sue me, Melania. Biographer Michael Wolff asserted in a podcast that Epstein had introduced Trump and Melania. Play the clip.
According to his biographer, is that Jeffrey Epstein introduced Melania. That's how Melania and the First Lady and the President met.
Really?
Yeah.
Epstein made the intro.
Yeah, according to Michael Wolff.
Yeah.
And so I only can go by what people are saying, and I don't.
So that's what it is. So Fox News does that huge barn burner, throwing red meat because they know Hunter Biden hits hard in low testosterone, teeny weeny segment of Twitter. And so they throw that out there, that just salacious bullshit. And as Pumps just said, the defense, Hunter Biden's defense to this will be the truth. And so obviously, because she's talking about suing for $1 billion, we 1,000,000% know now that she's just as ass deep in the Epstein bullshit as Donald Trump is. Now we know that she is right in it. And I believe that the New York Times in the last couple of weeks revealed photos from inside Jeffrey Epstein's apartment. And there's a framed photograph of Melania and Epstein in his house. I don't even know if I have a framed photograph of Pumps and me in my house. I should probably get one. Okay, next up, put up the tweet. It's biographer Michael Wolff who first reported that there are photos of Donald Trump with topless girls sitting on his lap, and they're giggling about the stain on his pants. It's also Michael Wolff who claims Melania belonged to Jeffrey Epstein before Trump. So why, listener, and why, Counselor Pumps, America's greatest legal mind, Why are the Trumps not suing Michael Wolff?
Because of the discovery process and the defamation. Truth is a defense, and the absolute truth would come out. And the tapes that Michael Wolff has with Jeffrey Epstein would come out, and it would dig the Trump hole deeper.
And you guys, this is something that, like, this whole Epstein thing should have been, it should end his presidency, because there's a massive cover up going on. And a woman that participated in child rape, Ghislaine Maxwell, is now able to leave prison on a work release after she colluded with Donald Trump's former failed criminal defense attorney, because Donald Trump was found guilty of 34 felonies. But yet, I mean, he immediately appoints this lawyer into his administration. He goes and meets with Ghislaine Maxwell and the victims, these, when they were little girls, the abuse that they endured by Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. They say that this woman was as evil as it gets and worse than Jeffrey Epstein. This is an administration that protects predators. This is the pedophile protecting MAGA administration. And if you vote with them, you're okay with it. You're okay with it. A recent poll came out that 47% of Republicans, 47%, that's half, wouldn't care if Donald Trump was knee deep involved in the Jeffrey Epstein files and listed as a perpetrator. Half of the Republican Party is that morally depraved.
Well, it doesn't surprise me at all, because they continue to go to their churches after they molest kids at their churches.
Great point.
And I look at this and I think, here's the thing. They don't care about Donald Trump and little girls or any of the things. They don't care about truth, because this Republican Party, prior to that 47%, is saying, let's lower the age of consent.
Yeah.
Let's put children able to work in factories. Let's let little girls as young as 12 get married. They don't value children. They don't give a fuck about women or kids. They give a fuck about white men making money, full stop.
And I challenge all of the mothers and fathers in the world to think about, short of your child dying prematurely, I would think that right up there with that would be somebody sexually violating your child. And the fact that you can feel that for your own child. And then when you see this criminal ring where there were thousands of victims, and you vote for the man who wishes the co-conspirator in this entire thing, Ghislaine Maxwell, he wishes her well. And I just have to say, why are you letting yourselves, if you voted for Trump once, 2 times, or all 3 times, why are you letting yourself morally slide and morally rot? There should be universal things that we all support. Ghislaine Maxwell needs to be locked up. She knew what she was doing. She recruited poor girls from Donald Trump's country club and took them to be raped by Jeffrey Epstein, and she participated in the rape and was his biggest recruiter. And one of the biggest recruiting places was Mar-a-Lago. Why are you defending this? We're a country of 340 million people. We can have a president that's not in the middle of a pedophilia ring and defending sexual molesters. It's just not that hard. Why? The question is, why are you allowing yourself to morally rot so much? All right, next up, I found this interesting. Melania Trump needed an interpreter when Pope Francis spoke to her in Italian. She relied on a translator to communicate with children at a French hospital. She moved here almost 30 years ago and barely speaks English. The claim that she's fluent in 6 languages is a fucking joke. And, I always see that about her, like Melania speaks 6 languages and she's this, international superstar. And then when I hear her speak, I think she speaks English well. I disagree with the tweeter. She has a strong accent, but I think she's very conversational in English. But I've never heard her say anything uber compelling,
No.
uber intellectual, uber smart. And the fact that it never occurred to her during Trump 1.0 that every first lady has like their cause and hers was be best. to try to put an end to online bullying, and that she never linked the dots, and that she didn't have the deduction skills to conclude, oh, in doing that, my number one target would be my husband,
Right.
because he's the biggest online bully.
I'd have to take his phone. But I just want to comment on something that you said about these people that are able to support him. These people dehumanize other people as part of their daily routine. They dehumanize immigrants, Black people, poor people, because they want to feel superior, and they believe they are entitled to feel superior. And that is what and so in that regard, these craven moral people that can't see this, I believe it's because they have no morals. The only moral they have is self-preservation and hate. And as Terry Moran would quote, hatred is their spiritual nourishment, and making other people less than human is what they do, because that's exactly what Ghislaine Maxwell did. She looked at poor girls and thought, they're poor, they are less than human. And we cannot forget that is what is happening in the United States.
And you guys, Pumps is the most credible person to message that, because her entire life, her friend group, everything, megachurch, evangelical, white culture.
Bible study.
Bible study. Thank God our girl is deprogrammed to help other women and men in this country that have fallen prey to the abusive tactics of white Christian nationalism, because it is abusive. All right. And I want to leave you all with one of our favorite congressmen who's been on our pod a couple of times, Representative Jason Crow, on the Trump Epstein connection.
Trump has more pictures with Epstein than with Melania, so there's something there, right? And listen, well, there's something there, right? Well, he's clearly worried about it.
I mean, this is he's doing this Russia thing. He's doing the federalizing of DC. And the more and more shiny object he puts out there, the more and more you realize, oh, Ghislaine Maxwell has the goods on him. She has him by his, what do you call him? Golden
sagging balls.
Yeah. All right. Listen, support our show. Support us. You guys are so good to us. You got us over 1 million. We don't have the YouTube trophy yet, but when we get it, we're going to do a live, and we'll open it live. Fuck it. We'll do it live. All right. And then this is our book. It's a great way to support us. Buy our book, read and learn more about us. Life is a Lazy Susan of Shit Sandwiches. Like, subscribe, share the videos, and #1, bully MAGA all day, every day. We'll see you all later.